Have you ever been shopping for a new gadget or an internet plan and just felt completely lost, swimming in a sea of tech talk? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to decode the essential terms you absolutely need to know so you can navigate your digital world with a ton more confidence. Let's jump right in. So here's our game plan for today. First, we'll break down what you're really paying for with your internet plan. Then, we'll get into the actual gear, the hardware that gets you connected. From there, we'll take a peek inside your computer, take a super quick trip through tech history, and then, finally, we'll tie it all together and see why knowing all this lingo is actually so important. All right, first up, let's talk about something we all have, we all pay for, but maybe don't fully get, our internet service. It seems simple enough, right? But believe me, the little details in that fine print can make a huge, huge difference in your experience. I mean, come on, we've all been there. The salesperson starts rattling off terms like kbps, megabytes, and broadband, and you just find yourself nodding along hoping for the best. It's such a common feeling. And you know what? We're about to clear up all that confusion for good. The word broadband might sound technical, but the idea behind it is actually really simple. Think of your internet connection like a highway. Broad just means wide, so a wider highway can handle way more cars all going at top speed. It's the exact same for the internet. A wider band of frequency lets more data travel and travel fast. This was a total game changer from the slow, single-lane dirt road of old dial-up connections. So when you're looking at internet speeds, you'll see these abbreviations like kbps, which is kilobits per second, or mbps from megabits. Now, the only thing you really need to remember is this. Mega is about 1,000 times bigger than kilo, so a 512 kbps connection is way, way slower than a 2 megabytes per second plan. If you want to stream movies or play games online without any headaches, you for sure want a plan that's measured in mega, not kilo. And that slow connection speed, well, that leads to the one thing we all absolutely dread, lag. You know what I'm talking about. It's that infuriating delay when your online game stutters right at the most important moment, or your movie just pauses to buffer right at the good part. It's pretty simple. A faster connection means less lag. Okay, so we've got the plan covered. Now let's look at the hardware. These are the actual physical boxes that grab that internet signal and beam it out to all your devices. Your wireless router is basically the heart of your home network. It takes that single internet connection coming out of your wall and broadcasts it wirelessly, creating what we all know as Wi-Fi. This is the magic little box that lets your phone, your laptop, and your smart TV all get online at the same time. No cables needed. Now for something that's super important for security, the firewall. And honestly, the name is pretty literal. It really does act like a digital wall between your computer and the wild west of the internet. It's constantly watching the data coming in and going out, and it blocks anything that looks shady. Just think of it as your own personal digital security guard. Okay, so we've covered the connection and the gear that spreads it around. Now let's go one level deeper. Let's pop the hood and look inside the machine itself. What are the key parts that actually make your computer, well, compute? All right, the processor. You might hear it called the CPU. This thing is the engine of your computer. It's the brain doing all the heavy lifting, all the thinking and the calculations. Its speed is measured in gigahertz, or GHz. And the rule here is really simple. The higher the gigahertz, the faster your computer can think, and the smoother everything will feel. Now let's talk storage. You know, how much stuff your computer can actually hold. You've heard these words before. A megabyte, or MB, is kind of our basic unit. But then you get a gigabyte, or GB, which is about 1,000 times bigger. And a terabyte, a TB, that's about 1,000 gigabytes. The jump in size is just massive. To put it in perspective, a 1 terabyte hard drive can hold hundreds and hundreds of movies. And we have all been here, right? You're right in the middle of something important, and then suddenly, nothing. The mouse won't move, the keyboard does nothing. Your computer is frozen solid. Now, this can happen for a lot of reasons, but it's often a sign that the processor is just totally overwhelmed, or maybe the hardware is just getting a little old. So how in the world did we get from computers that took up an entire room to these incredible devices that fit right in our hands? Let's take a super quick look back at the unbelievable evolution of computing power over the last few decades. It really is an incredible journey. Back in the 1950s, a single computer filled an entire massive room. Then you fast forward to the 1980s and they shrank enough to fit on our desks as personal computers. The 90s, of course, brought the internet, connecting all these machines across the globe. And then, 2007, the whole game changed with the first smartphone, which basically put a supercomputer right into all of our pockets. the pace of that change is just mind-blowing. So we've covered a lot of ground here, right? From internet speeds to computer processors, but why does any of this lingo actually matter in the real world? Let's connect all these dots and see how this knowledge can really impact your day-to-day digital life. This quote really just hits the nail on the head. The digital world never, ever stands still. What's brand new and top of the line today might be just standard tomorrow and probably outdated the day after. Keeping up with the language helps you keep up with the change. And that rapid change brings us to this word, obsolete. All it means is that something isn't really useful anymore because a newer, better version has come along and replaced it. This perfectly explains why a computer you bought just a few years ago can feel painfully slow today. It's not that it's broken, it's just that technology has sprinted way, way ahead of it. So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? Well, understanding this language gives you control. It means you can choose an internet plan without getting ripped off. You can understand what makes a computer fast or slow. You can even figure out simple problems yourself. This isn't about becoming some tech genius. It's just about feeling confident and empowered in your own digital life. And that, of course, brings us to the future. Just like broadband and gigabyte became words we all use, the rise of things like artificial intelligence is creating a whole new vocabulary we're going to have to learn. The evolution of tech is constant. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. What do you think is the next essential tech term that we're all going to need to know?